What is up, guys? It's me, Absolute Habibi, and today I'm bringing a video that's not really like my normal guide video because I'm just using a strategy that another YouTuber posted. His name is Radio Rez, and I'm leaving this segment in here, so if people want to know the exact strategy and know how to do it, you can stop right here, watch the video below, and then come back. This video is more of like a playthrough, as well as showing playthrough after the guide and seeing what kind of expansion routes we have, as well as dealing with debt and fixing our government and country after our war with the Ottomans. So with that being said, let's begin. Essentially, the strategy, there's a couple nuances to it. Part of it is taking advantage of how the AI works and how they mothball forts in the early game, the Ottomans AI, and how we take advantage of that. Not only that, we're going to take a lot of loans, like about 250 golden loans, and we're going to basically buy all the mercenaries we can. I do also take a bunch of different policies for my estates. Like I said, again, guys, if you want to know the exact details and know exact policies that I take, I'm copying one for one the Radio Res strategy from his YouTube video. There's no like flavor or anything that I adjusted, which is why I didn't want to make it a guide video, because it's not my guide, it's not my strategy. Anyways, here comes the fun part. We're gonna just start linking all of our armies together to the best general, and we're gonna just declare war on the Ottomans. Yeah, with no allies. We don't need allies. It's not necessary for us what we're about to do. So we're now getting ready with our war with the Ottomans. We're gonna put our boats ready, and we're just gonna declare war right away. We're gonna run to Selanik, and then we're gonna put 2 troops to Constantinople, and we're going to raise the province, not raise it, scorch earth the province. And since these forts are mothballed, we're able to get them, even the one where we have 2,000 troops. So now this just becomes a race of sieging between our forces in Edirne and his forces in Constantinople. So we're just gonna keep, it's essentially a siege race. And one of my playthroughs, oddly enough, they just came and ran at me, but that only happened once. They just ran and attacked me. I did lose, so maybe that had something to do with it. But we don't siege down Gibelu. It's a hills province, and even if you just walk on it for a second, instantly all of the Ottoman forces are going to come sieging, running at you. So the first war, yeah, it's all about just sieging. We're not going to even take a single battle, like, at all. Instead, yeah, just siege, carpet siege, and peace out Ottomans. For the peace seal, we're going to take Selanik and anything else that we can take. We were lucky to actually be able to take Bilibili, which I was really surprised, which is going to make this next war super easy. And the next war, we're not going to wait for a truce. We're going to go right now, and we're going to make an alliance with the Knights in Albania. They'll join the war, and we're going to just declare war on the Ottomans again. This time they have an army stuck in Europe and an army stuck in Asia Minor, so we're able to fight that army. This is the first battle we're fighting against the Ottomans, by the way. I'm actually kind of surprised that I didn't chase. I think I was blocked by the fort in Edirne, but with that being said, we're just going to siege down Edirne again, which is still the Ottoman capital, by the way. So we're going to get a pretty considerable war score from this. Meanwhile, the Ottoman army in Europe is going to be sieging down Albania, and the Ottoman army in Asia is just going to sit there, because we do have the boat supremacy in the start of the game. And also I did build a couple galleys, I believe. So after sieging down all of Europe, most people would peace out, but since Ottoman's army was split, I did go engage them in Albania, and then I chased the army so I could stack wipe it. He did play a little bit of games with me, but I was able to get it, and now this war is just so incredibly easy. We have the number advantage. We can just go and do whatever we want. The Knights are here with us, the Albanians are here with us, and it's amazing. We can just siege down Kocaeli now, and we can even take that province, so our next wars are even easier. Also, at this point, my war exhaustion was pretty high, and for some reason, the Ottomans just sent their troops right at me. Like, not even all together. They sent like a 2k stack, and then a 1k stack, and then a 4k stack, all separate. So that was pretty weird interaction. You don't really see the AI do that a lot. They only do that when it's like extremely hopeless. But as you can see here, we can piece out gold now. We can take as many provinces as we want. We have essentially getting close to 100 war score. We're going to get 100 war score, which I was only able to get this once, where I was actually able to effectively split the Ottoman army in 2 places. Usually what would happen when I was trying this strategy is that the Ottoman army would be all in Asia Minor. They won't cross the strait because we hold the strait, and you just siege down Europe, and then you just take whatever you can get from Europe. But in this game, I was able to get 100% war score and release Bulgaria, which is going to make it a lot easier for us as well. So yeah, great. We've gone back all of our cores essentially. Now what? Well, we're going to delete most of our mercenary stacks. Actually, all of our mercenary stacks. I deleted the fort in Selenik, and then I mothballed all the other forts. Then I paid as many loans as possible, set unit maintenance to 0. And yeah, we still have a lot of game time left. It's only been a couple of years. So now for part 2. Alright, now for our European expansion. You might be wondering why we don't do another war against Ottomans, a third truce break, but the thing is, at this point, the Arabs are pretty pissed off at us, specifically Mamluks, QQ, AQ. They're going to join a coalition if you declare war a third time. And I tried this one of my playthroughs just to see how far I can go with it, see if it's like Manchu versus Ming, where you can truce break like 6-7 times, as long as you have enough admin, right? No, the third time you truce break, the Mamluks will instantly join a coalition. Besides Epirus, though, something you should always be doing as a Christian nation is playing the Game of Thrones. And as you can see right here, I'm basically trying so hard to get royal marriages on a lot of the thrones of the European nations. I try with Burgundy so I can get the Burgundian inheritance. I try with France, who had no dynasty, as well as Castile and Portugal, who also had no heirs. But you just gotta try your shot and keep trying to get, you know, spread your royal family, maybe even get a couple PUs to increase your strength. You never know what can happen. Playing the Game of Thrones, I've ended up with random PUs from all kinds of nations. Like, I got Aragon as France once in the first 10 years. I got Brandenburg as Bohemia in the first 10 years. I showed that on my last Bohemia YouTube video. But yeah, besides that, we're just going to do a normal expansion, conquer Epirus, and, you know, after you deal with the fort, you can just go to their other island once you get your galleys there and piece them out for all of their land. Alright, and after we're done with Epirus, we do spend about 10 years doing some nation building. This includes embracing the Renaissance, getting faceting in Constantinople, as well as just paying off most of our loans. However, I did see a moment of weakness in Naples. They had recently just gotten their head kicked in by the Pope, and they had no allies. So, using my naval advantage, I sent in my troops one by one to Naples. However, with their ally, they were able to overwhelm me. I was able to get most of my forces on all my forces on the Italian peninsula, though, so it was not really a big issue. Here I'm looking how much land I can take from Naples, and it actually turned out that they got land back from rebels as I was warning them. Extremely lucky. However, you know, that's EU4 for you. You gotta play opportunistic. There isn't really a guide on what you can do step by step. For you, you know, your expansion might be into Hungary or Serbia or, you know, some other direction. Not necessarily Naples. But for me, my best expansion route was with Naples because they only had an ally in Siena. Literally their only ally. So once I got my troops on the Italian peninsula, it was pretty easy. It was just a siege game, and we were able to beat up Naples and Siena. Alright, so once we get 100% war score, we're going to piece out Siena for just gold and removing of rivals for prestige. And we're going to take as much land as possible from Naples without taking a coalition. We're going to core it all, and we're going to keep our stack here for defense because rebels 100% are going to spawn from here. Even though we have claims. We have claims on all of southern Italy thanks to our mission tree from reclaiming our Greek lands from the Ottomans. At this point, we're pretty strong. We're not a world power yet. We still have to deal with the Ottomans a third time, as well as potentially anyone else. And at this point, we do have an alliance and royal marriage with Hungary, and we have a royal marriage with Muscovy, but not an alliance, not yet. In terms of debt, we still have a considerable amount, about 400 or 500 gold in debt, which is not that too bad. We're under 1,000. The big problem we have, though, is inflation. We're almost at 20% inflation, since we took so many miniature loans in the early game that actually impacted our inflation very considerably. Another problem is that we are behind in Diplo and admin tech. I noticed that this happened a lot when you use the strategy. However, we never fall behind in military tech, which is the most important in the early game. So now it's time for our third Ottoman war. Actually, we were in a really nice position. They declared war on Albania, calling in Hungary. So while they were there in war with Hungary, I thought it would be a great time to attack the Ottomans. They didn't have any allies, which made this pretty easy, but they did build up their navy from the last time that we fought against them, which made this a lot harder than I thought it would be. I didn't expect them to continuously build galleys. But I do believe that the AI, especially the AI Ottomans, is very inclined to build galleys, and they do always build galleys. Anyways, with this war, we can just take on the Ottomans as long as we have all of our forces in our stacks. We're not taking any crazy fights. But if this happens to you, where the Ottoman fleet is blocking the strait, don't do what I just did there, whereas like I've collected all the galleys that I've been building. Instead, do what I do here and just get as much military access from a bunch of people and go all the way across Europe. Leave one stack in Constantinople. And I wouldn't recommend this if all of his army was in Asia, but since most of his units were in Europe in the beginning of the war, because they started a war with Albania, they had about 25k in Europe. We can just send 2 army stacks to go all the way around Asia, getting military access, which is honestly really crazy when I'm looking at it. We're getting it from literally everyone, and then everyone behind us, we're canceling military access. But the AI is he knows what's going on, and he's even taking advantage of that, which is why I'm not able to remove my military access with Poland and Lithuania immediately. He had troops in both of their borders. Anyways, it's a good thing though that we kept that stack inside the European side, because now we can just deal with any Ottomans that try to cross the strait and try to siege our capital. Anyways, we start sieging down Asia Minor, and after we're done with that, we can get to 100% war score, which is what I was able to do here, and I was able to take all the land that I wanted. And this time I made sure to take both Kocheli and Biga. That way I don't have to do the same madness that I did in the previous war. But yeah, just the first 30 years we're already incredibly powerful. Again though, we still have some debt, but that being said, I do smell some weakness in the Napolites, Naples, the Napletons, I have no idea. But yeah, I do sense some weakness, so instead of just deleting all my mercs, I just send all my troops to Naples and get ready for another war with Naples. So yeah, again, it's just Siena and Naples together, which isn't too difficult. Once we get all our troops on the Italian peninsula, it's pretty cut and dry. We even leave Bulgaria back in Constantinople, let him deal with any stragglers who try to siege down our land. We'll be good. But we do have still some claims on Naples, which helps so much from our mission tree, and they're still excommunicated. I think they got excommunicated a second time, because I do believe their leader died after I warred them the first time, but the Pope just excommunicated them again, which was very opportune for me, because I would love to have the south of Italy and get another step closer to reclaiming Rome and remaking the Roman Empire. But you can see from our position that because even though we took like a mind-boggling amount of loans to win our first war against the Ottomans, we're in a very playable position, and not only that, we are incredibly rich. We're not a world power yet, but we're getting incredibly close. So after this war, we just need to war Ottomans maybe one more time and take some more land from them, and boom, we'll be a great power. So this next part, again, it all comes down to your game and how it goes. In my game, Moldavia was independent. They actually got their independence from Poland, who had already annexed them. It's really weird. And then they got their independence from rebels. But anyways, they allied Serbia when they got their independence, and I found an opportune time to basically attack both of them. If I was playing this again, though, I would have co-belligerented Moldavia. That way I could take all of their land, which I did not do in this war. I just declared war on Serbia. Yeah, we're just gonna consolidate what powers we have, and not only that, there's the gold mine of Kosovo that we get from Serbia, which is incredibly one of the best production provinces in the game. Not only is it gold, but later in the game it becomes coal, which gives 10% goods produced modifier in the province, which is a lot. Yeah, just from what you can do in your game, you gotta just read and be looking around, seeing what kind of opportunities you can take. I did annex Bulgaria at this point. I think that once you get all of their claims, you should just annex them as soon as possible. They only provide like 5,000 units, and they don't really have incredible ideas to be like a powerful march or anything. So yeah, I would just recommend coring them up, because we do have claims on part of their lands, and why not? But yeah, we end up not taking that much from this war, and that's because we get declared war on by the Knights. Yeah, the Knights declare war on us with the help of Venice, and actually cause a little bit of a problem for us and put us in even more debt. But because they declare war on us, as you can see right here, both Hungary and Muscovy declined the call to arms, both of them. So yeah, I had to basically take loans again, and I have no idea why Muscovy didn't join. That's why I was checking there. Neither did Hungary. They both didn't have debt. They just, I guess they wanted my land and wanted to kill me, and they wanted me to die. But I took what I could take. I got Kosovo from Serbia, which isn't a loss. We still took 2 provinces from them, but we still have to prepare for our war with Venice and the Knights, which is an incredibly difficult war. So for this war, I essentially let them siege down my west side of my nation. Like I said earlier, I didn't have any forts in Selanik, and the only fort that I had in my west side was in Moria. So what I did was I collected as many units as I could in my capital, and then I sent a small stack of 9k with my best siege general on Selanik. And because they didn't siege down a single fort, I was able to peace out the Knights for Selanik, which, that's it, war over. And just to not waste the mercenaries that I had to buy to deal with Venice, I ended up just declaring war on Ottomans right away. My truce was over, and they have no allies, so, no better time than now. And with this final war, we become a great power. Just like that, in less than 50 years as Byzantium. This is definitely a very viable strat if you want to have a really strong Byzantium run and potentially do the basileus achievement. Unfortunately, though, I did kind of mess up this game. I'll explain that out later, but I do that way down the line. So, yeah, I don't really have like a time-lapse video for this one. However, if you do want to see me play Byzantium again, I will do a 5-part series from 1444 to 1820, 15 minutes each, 5-part series of me playing it. So like kind of like an edited let's play, you know, each 15 minutes gonna be like a year. But yeah, with that being said, you know, this is definitely very viable, and I think you guys should try it out as well. Very strong run, you know, 50 years, great power as Byzantium, no exploits used, no weird hacks or bug usage, no like tricks used, just straight up mercs and tactics. Alright guys, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, please do check out one of my other videos. I have a lot of EU4 related content as well as content related to other strategy games. And if this isn't your first time, please consider subscribing. Thanks for watching.